Just call him to you, would you?
She asked. Speckletail snorted and called out,
Snowkit! Snowkit, come here!
She beckoned with her tail as she spoke. Snowkit got up, abandoning the ball of moss he had been playing with, and padded over to his mother. Speckletail bent down and gave his ear a lick.
Good,
meowed Cinderpelt.
Now, Fireheart, go over there and call him to you, will you?
She nodded toward a spot a few fox lengths away. In a lower voice, she added,
Don't move. Just use your voice.
Puzzled, Fireheart did as she asked. This time, although Snowkit was looking straight at him, he didn't move. There was no response from him at all, even when Fireheart called 3 or 4 times. A few other cats paused on their way to the pile of fresh kill and came to see what was going on. Bluestar, roused by the sound of voices, Fireheart guessed, emerged from her den and sat watching near the base of the high rock. Dappletail, who was strolling back to the Elder's den, stopped beside Speckletail and said something to her. Speckletail spat an irritated reply, but Fireheart was too far away to hear what the 2 cats had said to each other. Dappletail ignored Speckletail's snappishness and sat down next to Cinderpelt to watch closely. Fireheart kept on calling Snowkit until Speckletail gave the kit a nudge, nodding in his direction, and the kit came bounding across. Well done, Fireheart meowed, and repeated his praise when Snowkit looked at him blankly. After a pause, the kit mewed.
It's all right.
But the words sounded so distorted that Fireheart could hardly understand him. He led Snowkit back to his mother and Cinderpelt. By now he was beginning to suspect what the trouble was, and he felt no surprise when Cinderpelt turned to Speckletail and meowed.
I'm sorry, Speckletail. Snowkit is deaf.
Speckletail worked her paws on the ground in front of her. Her expression was a mixture of grief and anger.
I know he's deaf,
she snapped at last.
I'm his mother. Do you think I wouldn't know? White cats with blue eyes are often deaf,
Dappletail mewed to Fireheart.
I remember one of my first litter,
she sighed. What happened to him? Fireheart asked, relieved that Cloudpaw, who was also white with blue eyes, had good hearing.
No cat knows,
Dappletail told him sadly.
He disappeared when he was 3 moons old. We thought a fox must have gotten him.
Speckletail gathered Snowkit closer to her, fiercely protective.
Well, a fox won't get this one, she vowed. I can look after him.
I'm sure you can, Bluestar mewed, padding over to them.
But I'm afraid he can never be a warrior.
This was one of Bluestar's good days, Fireheart realized. Her voice was sympathetic but determined, and her eyes were clear.
Why can't he be a warrior?
Speckletail demanded.
There's nothing else wrong with him. He's a good, strong kit. He gets on just fine if you signal what he's got to do.
That's not enough, Bluestar told her. A mentor couldn't teach him to fight or hunt by signals. He couldn't hear commands in a battle. And how could he catch prey if he can't listen or hear the sound of his own paw steps? Speckletail leaped to her paws with her fur bristling, and for a few moments Fireheart thought she might spring at Bluestar. Then she whipped around, nudged Snowkit to his paws, and vanished with him inside the nursery.
She's taking it badly,
Dappletail remarked.
How do you expect her to take it?
Asked Cinderpelt.
She's getting old. This could well be her last kit, and now she learns he can't ever be a warrior.
Cinderpelt, you must talk to her, Bluestar ordered. Make her see that the needs of the clan must come first.
Yes, of course, Bluestar,
Cinderpelt mewed, with a respectful nod to her leader.
But I think it's best for her to have a little time alone with Snowkit first, to let her get used to the idea that the rest of the clan knows about his deafness.
Bluestar grunted agreement and padded back toward her den. Fireheart couldn't help feeling disappointed. Not long ago, Bluestar would have talked to Speckletail herself and perhaps considered some options about Snowkit's future in the clan. Where had that compassion and understanding gone? Fireheart wondered. His fur prickled as he realized that his leader hardly seemed to care about the deaf kit or his mother. Loud yowling broke out from the clearing. It was the sound of many cats raising their voices in a terrible screech of fear. Fireheart spun around and raced out of Blue Star's den. The center of the clearing was almost deserted, bathed in bright light where the normally leafy cover had been burned away. Cats crouched around the edges in the scant shelter of the charred fern walls. Fireheart caught a glimpse of Goldenflower and Willowpelt pushing their kits into the nursery. Brackenfur was nudging a couple of the elders toward their den, urging them to hurry. The cats at the edge of the clearing were staring up at the sky, their eyes huge with fear. As he looked upward, Fireheart heard the beating of wings and saw a hawk circling above the trees, its harsh cry drifting on the air. At the same time, he realized that one cat had not taken shelter. Snowkit was still tumbling and playing in the middle of the open space. "Snowkit!" Speckletail yowled desperately. She was just emerging from behind the nursery, the place where the queens went to make dirt, and she darted toward her kit as soon as she realized what was happening. In the same heartbeat, the hawk plunged down toward the clearing. Snowkit screamed as the cruel talons fastened onto his back. The great wings flapped. Fireheart raced forward, but Speckletail was faster still. As the hawk lifted off, she sprang upward and snagged her claws in the white kit's fur. For a couple of agonizing moments, both cats dangled from the hawk's claws. Fireheart launched himself into the air, but they were too high. Then the hawk released the kit with one foot and scored its talons across Speckletail's face. The she-cat lost her grip and fell back, landing heavily on the ground. Without her weight, the hawk mounted rapidly to treetop height and flew off toward 4 trees. Snowkit's terrified crying died away. "No!" Speckletail threw her head back and let out a yowl of pure desperation. "My kit! Oh, my kit!" Brackenfur dashed past Fireheart, leaping the camp wall at a place where the rebuilding had barely started, and vanished into the forest. Even though Fireheart knew the pursuit was hopeless, he swung around and caught the eye of the nearest cat. "Swiftpaw, go with him!" Swiftpaw opened his mouth to protest, clearly aware that the pursuit would be hopeless, then closed it again and took off after Brackenfur. The rest of the cats, stunned by shock, gradually crept out into the clearing again and formed a ragged circle around Speckletail. "He couldn't hear," Sandstorm murmured, touching her nose to Fireheart's cheek. "He couldn't hear the hawk, and he couldn't hear us when we tried to warn him." "It's my fault," Speckletail wailed. "I left him, and now he's gone. The hawk should have taken me instead." Sandstorm moved closer to the tabby queen, pressing herself comfortingly against her side, and Cinderpelt came up and gave her ears a gentle lick. "Come to my den," she mewed softly. "We'll look after you. We won't leave you." But Speckletail refused to be comforted. "He's gone, and it's my fault," she whimpered. "It's not your fault," meowed Blue Star. Fireheart turned to see his leader pacing toward them. The broad-shouldered gray she-cat looked strong and determined, more like a warrior than any of the other cats, crushed as they were by the tragedy of Snowkit's loss. "It's not your fault," she repeated. "Whoever heard of a hawk that dared to swoop down and take a kit from the middle of a camp with so many other cats around? This is a sign from StarClan. I cannot deny the truth any longer." Blue Star gazed at her shocked assembled clan, and her voice vibrated with anger. "StarClan is at war with ThunderClan.